everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have a little bit of something different for you today. I have a bit of a book review, some of my favorite spiritual, self-help, self-love, personal development style books, more on the spiritual side of things. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 books here today, and I'm actually missing one. It's one of my favorites, and it is kind of the one that started me or really pushed me onto this journey because just a bit of background, I always felt that there was something more spiritual to me, more softer to me. I was once criticized for being too soft and emotional, and then once criticized by the same group of people for being too driven and too strong. So now I am embracing that with a little bit of quiet time and inner talk and a little help from my friends here. I have been able to embrace that soft and strong holy humanness that I am. I pinched that word from a friend of mine who is a holy human coach. Isn't that just the best phrase for understanding who we really are? Love it. Thanks, Hannah. So I really do recommend that this book, it's called Personal Power Through Awareness. It's actually stored in a shed somewhere, unfortunately, because I do talk about it a lot and I'd like to have it so I can give it to certain people. But I do recommend it if you already do kind of know where you are going. I was introduced to that book by a beautiful massage therapist, holistic coach, counselor, and PT, a friend of mine named Karen. She said, I'm not sure if you're ready for this because it is kind of like, whoa, next levels, but I devoured it and I loved it and I was so ready. I'm not going to try and say the name of the person because I'm not sure if I'm getting it the right way around, but I would drop the links for all of these books below so that you can go and pick them up for yourself and be enlightened right here, right now, because you are living. I think that's what this overall message is, or that's what my message is enjoy and find joy in every day. It's not always about, you know, if I do this and this and this, I'm going to be enlightened one day. Enjoy it all now. So after Personal Power Through Awareness, the next book that I read was by an amazing Aussie girl, Rebecca Campbell. This is called Light is the New Black. You might have seen this everywhere because it really was everywhere when it first came out. It would have been like 3 years ago now. I really do love the tactile, textural nature, feel, hold, scribble, dog ear feeling of an actual book, especially when it comes to books like this that actually have little to-dos and work your light kind of messages inside, where you might be able to scribble some stuff in there. This book is quite worn from me. I have read it twice and I have gifted this book to many people because it's the kind of thing where it is, let's just read it, a guide to answering your soul's calling and working your light. There's so many people in my life or that I meet who I recommend this book to because I just see that they're struggling or they're not owning their strengths as a woman or their strengths as a human being who has gifts to give to the world, as Beck calls them, light workers, and then that kind of light worker theme does go throughout all the rest of these books. Even Gabby Bernstein says, I'm a super fan of Rebecca Campbell. She says, this book is relatable, real, soul-centered and empowering, and it's a must-read for all spirit junkies on their path to living a miraculous life. I love that Beck shares her own personal story of being kind of corporate world, advertising world, stuck in, I'm hiding my personality, I'm hiding my true sense of self, and then discovering it and letting it all loose, and actually the universe totally responded to her opening up. And she has since written Rise, Sister Rise, which is her second book. Look at these covers, they're just divine. She says, rise for you, rise for me. When you rise first, you rise for she. So this book, even more dog-eared than the other one. This is a full-on Bible. Now both of these books have incredible poetry throughout. Mantras or mantras, however you like to say that, little exercises, quotes. And they have, like, she does have a website where you can download meditations and download the quotes and just have them with you on a day-to-day basis. They're written in ways that I've never seen a book written before, with stories intertwined, the poetry intertwined, the quotes intertwined, and the work kind of intertwined in the books. It's like a playbook, really. It's a playbook to your best spiritual uprising, right? And then this one is quite feminist rising, and it's beautiful. There's history. There's so many layers to this. I feel like I just need to read a little bit. Rise, Sister, Rise is a call to arms for women to rise up, tell their truth, and lead. It is a guide to co-creating a whole new archetype for women in these awakening times. Isn't that so relevant right now? A woman who does not keep herself small in order to make others feel more comfortable. A woman who knows that she is not her body weight, her sexual partners, or her career. A woman who understands the true meaning of sisterhood, and that alone we are strong, but together we are fierce. It is a manual for healing the insecurities, the fears, and the limiting inherited patterns that stop women from trusting their innate power and wisdom and being the person they came here to be. It is full of tools and questions and rituals and exercises. It's to listen to your soul's calling, your intuition, act on it, to gather courage, gather with girlfriends, to be seen, to be heard, to know your worth. Heal yourself first, and by doing that you will heal the world around you. It's just a beautiful, beautiful book. I highly recommend it. And I've also done one of Beck's courses, which was all about finding your inner light worker and bringing that to your career. So she's very good at guiding people through something like that, and it even talked about how to actually write your first book. So if that is something of interest to you, go and check out Beck's website. I will leave all the details below. But yeah, 2 incredible books by one beautiful, beautiful woman. She now resides in the UK, but she is an Aussie. My next book is from Gabby Bernstein. A lot of you would know her. She's the New York Times best-selling author of Miracles Now, Spirit Junkie, May Cause Miracles. What else has she written? She's written tons, right? And I actually feel like this book, The Universe Has Your Back, I actually feel like this was like she did a Star Wars kind of thing where she released all these other books that were throwing you right in the deep end of their specific title and throwing you right in the deep end of miracles and miracle working. And then this one is more like the beginner's guide too. It's like the foreword. So when I read this, it was like, okay, I get your path now. I get how you came to be in this position, and I get where you're kind of guiding people to read the rest of her books. So if you love this book, you're already reading the rest of her books, I can guarantee it. But this, I mean, the title says it all. The universe has your back. She is one eloquent woman. When you watch her on YouTube, she can just sit there and either interview someone or be interviewed, or she will just turn on the camera and start talking about what her message for you today is, and this is how you can do it. She'll guide you through the exercise. And the way her mouth moves, the way the words flow out, you can tell it's not scripted. You can tell she's not reading off anything. This woman knows how to speak from the heart. And so I actually found this book a little bit like softer, lighter, easier read than some of her other books. Although I loved all of her other books, I actually rate them higher is probably what I'm trying to say. But I love this one for the fact that I can easily recommend it to people who are starting out, or who are really questioning life and questioning the universe and when is it my turn. This book kind of answers all of that. And I'll just flick to any page and read you something. So she does talk about different universal lessons in this. Universal lesson. The visions you see in stillness offer you great guidance and reassurance that you're being supported. Very simple. She does go through quite a lot of meditations in this book. So she's introducing you to sitting still with yourself and talking to yourself and listening to yourself, and helping you to break down what it really means for you to try to understand, try to feel that the universe really does have your back. The happiness, safety, and security we long for lies in our commitment to love. So she is a big student of A Course in Miracles. So she does often refer to that in her books, and this is no different. It's just a little bit lighter on. So yes, The Universe Has Your Back by Gabby Bernstein. All the details for this one are below as well. My next book is The Untethered Soul, which is The Journey Beyond Yourself, also a #1 New York Times bestseller. And this is by Michael A. Singer. I love the simplicity of that cover. And Deepak Chopra says, read this book carefully and you will get more than a glimpse of eternity. So this book is quite like Personal Power Through Awareness. It is quite deep. It is a little bit another level. So if you've read all of those ones and then you get to this one, you'll totally be ready for it. But if you are ready to jump into something a little bit deeper and you're actually wanting to trust yourself and know yourself and listen to yourself, and actually question who is that self, then it is your untethered soul. So who are you really is basically the whole topic. It's written on the back here. What would it be like to be free from limitations and soar beyond your boundaries? What can you do each day to find this kind of inner peace and freedom? So the untethered soul offers a simple, profoundly intuitive answer to these questions. Whether this is your first exploration of inner space or you've devoted your life to the inward journey, this book will transform your relationship with yourself and the world around you. Yes, exactly what I just said. This book really dives into your relationship with your thoughts and your emotions. It helps you uncover different sources of energy and where these energy patterns are coming from. It delves into what you can do to actually free your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions a little bit more, especially from like bad habits or bad energy patterns. You can recognize energy patterns in yourself and in other people. Anything that is limiting your consciousness can be freed and let loose. And this was actually a really perfect timed book for me to read. I've read it about 12 months ago. Some things had happened in my life that I was beginning to think, does the universe actually have my back? So I read that. And then I read this and I was like, okay, I can actually just let it all go. And so it's opening the door to a life lived in freedom of your innermost being. A great book by Michael A. Singer, The Untethered Soul. And then finally, this is a book that has just recently come out by, doing funny things to the light there. It is a very white book, White Hot Truth by Danielle LaPorte. Clarity for keeping it real on your spiritual path from one seeker to another. I bow down to Danielle LaPorte. This woman is incredible. All of these women, all of these people, here's a guy, are all incredible. She is a masterful poet, absolutely masterful. And if you haven't already, go and download her app, the Truth Bomb app, and it will open up different truth bombs for you every day, and they are kind of woven into this book as well, White Hot Truth. It's straight from the messy, complicated world of authentic life experience. She's a force field of energy, wonder, humor, and love. Danielle LaPorte is a bright light in a modern priesthood. She keeps it spiritual, she keeps it real, she keeps it good. Our souls are yearning for Danielle's liberating message that discernment is crucial to our true spiritual freedom. That is the part that I want to talk about, because she really dives into everything that is spiritual and says, well, you don't have to sit on your yoga mat every single day, and if you don't, you have to beat yourself up about it because you're not spiritual enough. You know, so she really gets you questioning about your thinking, that you can get stupid, right? You can get stupid with your spiritual thinking, and the whole idea of spiritual thinking can be warped, and that's not the point. Like, you've got to enjoy it, and it's going to be messy and it's going to be life. It's just so well done, this book. It's beautifully mapped out like that, and then you've got the truth bombs are all woven in. So protect your heart so you can keep it wide open is one of those. Let your preferences evolve. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to know where you're going, what you want, how you want it. And if you know all that, then you've found enlightenment. You're going to learn and change and grow along the way. You think you need an architect, but you are already a temple. Love that one. Thank the lies for showing you the truth. Amazing. It takes courage to change your beliefs. Create where you belong. Love yourself like it's your job. And it goes on. It is such a beautiful book. You can get this on audiobook as well. I'm pretty sure you can get all of these books on Audible or audiobooks as well. So I've just finished reading it once, and it did take me a while to read because I sat there with each kind of thought and would go and make notes, or would go and do a live video, or I would go into nature and just sit with the idea, or I would draw. or I'd write poetry. Like, this is a really great creative book as well. It really got me in action because every point was just so amazing. What I usually do though, I will read something first, I'll go and do all those extracurricular activities around the reading, and then I will come back, and if I really love it, I will read it again at a time where I feel like it's ready, like I need to read this again. Or I will just read certain chapters that I need to read, and then I'll do some highlighting, and I'll take pieces of that and put it into something that I need to apply in real life. I would actually then get this book on an audio book because it's one of those books that I love so much. She also has released, and Gabby Bernstein has these as well, is a deck of cards that are not like oracle cards or anything like that, but they're more like miracle cards or white hot truth cards, and you pick out a card for each day and you just turn it over and sit with the message that might be part of your meditation. So I really love that these girls and guys are really branching out their offering to the world so that you can get it in different ways that suit you and that are workable for you. So White Hot Truth, I would have to say that this is my current fave. So I hope this has been useful. If you have enjoyed this, please let me know in the comments below, because I would love to do more book reviews. I have a whole, like, scattered at the moment library of books, but one day I intend to have a massive library, one of those plastered walls full of books. I really do appreciate all the lessons that we have to learn and the journeys that we can go on, a little bit of escapism too if we're talking about non-fiction books. So if you did like it, please leave a comment, give me a recommendation, let me know what you would like me to review or what I should be reading. Especially if it's a spiritual book, let me know what you have been reading and what has worked for you. Hit subscribe while you are there and follow me on my socials. I will see you all in my next video. See you later.